Here's my proven 3-pillar system that if you follow correctly, you're guaranteed to get out of small channel jail. And the first pillar is fixing the packaging. Now, what is the packaging? It's basically title plus thumbnail. You need to start showing emotions in the thumbnail and writing your titles correctly. The way you're going to decide which emotions to show is based on a layered system. And the way we're going to do this is with the 3 states of thumbnails, because there are only 3 states. The first layer is going to decide which state to show. So just like when you're telling a story, you can decide what part of that story you're going to show as a thumbnail. So we have the beginning, middle, and end. And on the bottom, we have some corresponding thumbnails to them. This one is showing a beginning state, this one showing a middle state, and this one is showing an end state. And the way you decide which one to choose is by asking these questions. Does my video solve a problem? Is the beginning the most interesting part? And if we go back here, this is a video about motivation. It's basically promising you to get you out of this like rut. And this is basically you in the beginning. It's right over here. And it's basically promising you to take you on this journey throughout the video. And at the end, you're going to be motivated. So this is showing a beginning state where you're unmotivated. And this one is a highlight type of thumbnail. It's basically showing anything that happens between this part of the video. And this thumbnail that is about building a helicopter is the end state of that video. Now you can think about this. What would be the beginning state of this video? It would be like all of the parts laid down on the floor and the guy is just beginning to explain that he's going to build the helicopter. And this Mr. Beast video is about like him surviving a couple days on like a deserted island and he needs to build a boat. Now the beginning of this would be like him being dropped off of like a helicopter or something. The end is him having survived the challenge. But he chose to show the middle because that's where like most of the action is. It doesn't make any sense for this guy to show the beginning where he doesn't have the helicopter because that's not the most interesting part. He's showing the end state. You might even want to see this thing fly. You know what I mean? Like if he made the thumbnail, the helicopter like hovering above ground a little, that would have probably even been better. And for this thumbnail, in the beginning, you're unmotivated. And in the middle part, she's explaining the system to how to get out of the rut, how to become motivated. So that could be a thumbnail as well. Or the end state where you are motivated. So that could be a thumbnail where she is motivated, like really like locked in writing something, you know what I mean? For the middle one is you gotta ask this: do I have an insanely interesting moment during the video? And for Mr. Beast, where he is doing a bunch of bullshit throughout the video, he does have like a really interesting moment. For the helicopter one, does he have like an interesting moment? Like the middle part for this video would be something like the guy doing some like work. He's like ranching on the helicopter. Is that more interesting than the end product? I don't think so. And for this is like a special case because you can show basically anything and all of them could work. Does my video have a great payoff at the end? Is that the most interesting part? And for the helicopter one, yes, that is the most interesting part. Is the Mr. Beast one like him actually like having survived or like getting off the island with a boat? Is that the most interesting part? This is kind of showing it. If I have to pinpoint this thumbnail, it would probably be right before the end. But I still say that this is still part of the middle. It's not quite the end product of him having survived because that's him completely off of the island. So that's not an interesting thing. And so, okay, you ask these questions, then you have your little answer. But the thing is, there are video types where you can show all 3 in an interesting way. For example, if you're making like a motivation video, this is like the beginning state, you being unmotivated, and then the video is promising to lead you to the end. It's basically taking you on a journey. Every single video is supposed to be telling some sort of a story, even if it's educational. You are going from not knowing the thing to knowing the thing. That's the journey, right? And this is the end state that you want to show your viewers. It's like them being focused. But what would the middle look like for like an educational video? Well, I have some ready for you. And it's like the guy in the middle of explaining something. It's like as if I took a screenshot of my PC and posted me like doing like this or whatever, like doing some hand gesture like these guys are doing. That's basically what a middle thumbnail would look like for something like this. Then you need to make the title match your thumbnail. And the reason why you make your thumbnail first is because that is the first thing that people interact with. They look at the thumbnail and then they read the title, because people are just drawn to pictures and color and brightness and all that sort of stuff. So, but like, okay, how do you do this? If you're showing a before thumbnail, you need to be able to name what that before state is. For the motivation video, you can name that the people who are just clicking on the video are probably feeling unmotivated. If they're not feeling unmotivated, why would they click on the video? So you can name the before state, right? You can call it out. That girl laying on her back, the title is something like unmotivated. Here's how you become motivated no matter what, or some shit like that. It's not, I don't quite remember it, but it's something like that. The title needs to complete the storyline that you started with the thumbnail. So for example, here's this like junk car. It's like really, really messy, and the guys are like, oh, what is happening? This is crazy. What is the state of this thing, right? But then in the title, they say full restoration. And full restoration actually completes the storyline. Think about it. This is the beginning state, and the end goal is full restoration. It looks like this. Your brain fills in the blanks. You know what the beginning is, and you know what the end goal is. And this creates a curiosity gap because you know the entire journey, but you still want to see the end product. And they did it in like this really cartoonish way. I kind of skipped into this video. The car doesn't look like this. They never actually show it looking like this. This is like an AI picture, but it's very effective. And look, I'm just giving you the patterns to look out for. Once you know what to look for, go and look at how your competitors do this. Trust me, I've been looking at thumbnails, and all of them do this. Every single one showcases either beginning, middle, or end. Kind of like getting an understanding to how people do it within your niche, actually seeing how your competitors do this is going to give you a greater, much greater understanding that I just couldn't give you over a video like this. So you actually have to do some work. And the second pillar is your hook. So I want you to imagine a homeless man coming up to you, or one of these people who hand out flyers. Now, imagine that this lady comes up to you and she's like, "Excuse me, can I have a moment of your time?" Fuck no, I walk away. Why? Because that was a shit hook. You know that they are just, I don't know, trying to sell you some shit. That's a bad hook. That's why people walk away. There has to be some interest. If the homeless person stops you by saying something like, "I don't want money," then that piques your interest, like, okay, what the fuck does he want then? You know what I mean? Let me give you my easy hook structure. So first, you need to call out a relatable pain, or promise a solution, or call for a journey. Now imagine the Mr. Beast thumbnail. You can probably think of what kind of hook he uses. "I've just been dropped off at this abandoned island and I need to survive," whatever the fuck. Like that's the hook. That's basically asking you to join him on this journey. It's just like right into the middle of the action. These are all highlights, and it's like a relatable pain. If your title and thumbnail promises that it's going to give you some solution, then talk about it in the intro. These are all highlights relating back to why they clicked on your video in the first place. Understanding the base reason why somebody would click on your video is the first step to writing your hook. They clicked on the video because they either want to experience adventure or they want to get a certain solution from you. So you need to speak about that so that you justify their click. And then the other thing, you need to get into action ASAP. Less than 15 seconds for the intro is good. You need to talk about context, and then whatever relatable pain you spoke of in the thumbnail, whatever solution promise you made in the thumbnail, or whatever call for journey you made in the thumbnail. Talk about it immediately so they know they clicked on the right video, and then get into the video as soon as possible. You need to match the energy of the thumbnail. If the thumbnail looks insane but the video is boring, they're gonna click off. It doesn't matter if you can fool them with the thumbnail. And I've made this mistake so many times, man. just get into the video as soon as possible, okay? The main goal for the hook is to give context to what the video is about, live up to the expectations you set with the thumbnail and title. And then the third pillar is the bulk of the video. You need to find a tangible metric from your competitors that shows the pacing of their video, okay? This could be for gaming videos, for example. I just had a guy ask me in the comment section yesterday about like his gaming channel. And I basically replied with this: look at your competitors, what level, stage of the game they are at 2, 5, 10 minutes, and compare that to yourself. For education, how many concepts have they explained in given time period? Just find some way to compare your pacing to other people's pacings. How many words they are saying in 1 minute. Presentation style, if you're trying to copy something like this, how many slides do they do in 5 minutes? You can look at stuff like this and then you can actually compare. This is something that you do once and then you will have a pretty decent understanding of what it looks like to make a good paced video. And then you need to be able to map out emotions. Every video has main emotions that keep the viewers interested. Find the main emotions that drive retention for your type of video. Is it excitement, novelty, funniness, feel good, wholesome, hope, sadness, etc.? The reason why this is important is because being able to manipulate the emotions that your viewers are feeling is the #1 way to get a highly retentive video. Why? Because this is an example, of course, this is like goofy as hell, right? Like this is just, of course, this isn't how I do it normally. But let's just say that this is the viewer's attention. And then you say something that is like, I don't know, highly controversial or like really serious. And then you take them to a really funny moment, for example. If you were just talking in a normal way, your video would have gone here. But because you took them down here emotionally, and then you took them up here, this joke that you say right here, it could be the same joke. But if you don't bring them down here, the journey, the emotional contrast that they experience going from here to here is going to be much less. This is why when, for example, in like serious situations, something funny happens, people are like, they cannot control themselves. It's like when the teacher tells you to be quiet or something like that, and then your friend tells you some stupid shit. It's twice as funny because you've just been told that it's a serious moment and that you need to lock in. That's why, because this journey has just become bigger, right? If you can map out the emotions and the main things that happen during your video, you can shrink it down. Then you have a very comparable thing. If you do this, right? If you understand the pacing of somebody else's video, you map out their emotions. It's like, oh, he made me experience excitement here, and then he said something funny here, and then he did this here, and then he did this here. Then you have like a very tangible way to compare your videos to theirs. And look, you need to do a lot of analysis yourself. There's no guru that will give you the ROI as good as doing research yourself. If you can give these things names, and create your own little system that works for you, I don't think that there's anything more powerful than that, because you're using your own words. I'm trying to give you like years of experience back with like simplistic terms, and I've been writing this shit down, and I've been, creating stuff like this for my own Minecraft shorts for years. But being able to name things like this yourself, you just understand it better. There's no way that any guru can give you a better return on investment than you actually investing time into understanding your own niche. So if you got any value out of this video, like and subscribe, and check out this video.